So there I was, wasting my youth away by endlessly scrolling on the internet. You know, every young adult's favorite pastime. So there I was, scrolling until I saw an article from PC Gamer that was like, hey yo, look at this. Heretic 2 got a source port. I said, Heretic 2 got a source port? Well, finally, say less, family. I've been meaning to play this forever. We played the first Heretic, and I didn't care for it. Stuff happened. I don't really care for Doom, but magic. Fake magic. Wands, but it's still guns. So, Heretic 2, I like my Tomb Raider clones. 3D gameplay with platforming, say less. So, we pulled out the old disc, installed that bad boy, let's play. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I teared up once I saw the Raven software splash screen. Oh my god, I wish they would leave, escape, somehow, some way, just get away from their oppressor that is Activision and the Call of Duty dungeon. I need a Jedi Academy too. But anyways, this tutorial is absolutely nothing to write home about. Just slow moving text and slow moving text. It's boring and there's nothing to write about, but there is something to write about. I just lied. The end of the tutorial, there's a chicken hanging from a noose, and the game encourages you to beat up the chicken. You heard me right. This game encourages you to beat your meat. This just might be the greatest game of all time. Opening cutscene for this game, however, is absolutely brilliant. We are never ever done with the 90s, you understand me? So first of all, the graphics is so funky looking, or at least the FMV cutscene is so funky looking. Everybody looks like they smeared in Vaseline. They're all stiff with all type of creases in their skin and their face, and they move just like they got no type of joints. So anyway, apparently some man damn named Desparrow, yes, you heard me, Desparrow, like despair, holy pun, was mashing up the whole world. So then this shirtless elf pulls up and he waxes him by classic 80s style WWF wrestling. Desparrow is yapping away and then he just shoots him one time with a fireball. Absolutely amazing. Anyways, once Desparrow dies, he says he curses him, literally, by all the lost gods. MC Man ignores all of this and walks through a random portal thinking he's going home. But unfortunately for him, he is not going home. He's teleported straight to my asshole.
No. No. This isn't right. Damn you, Desparrow! Damn you!
So even though Desparrow is the world's weakest final boss, he apparently was in possession of the world's strongest curse. So Desparrow in his death throes literally cursed MC Man into a randomizer. He just walks and he goes to random locations. He can't go home. That's terrible. Imagine getting off of work and right when you're about to get home, you teleport to somewhere else. Anyways, MC Man is cursed in this randomizer, just walking in random locations before a lizard lady pulls up and fights him terribly. She goes for a jumping nothing and dies. Then a book comes from left field and is like, yo, MC Man, it's time to go home. The other book's open. Let's go home. I said, wait, hold on. Am I supposed to be happy? You is watching me the whole time. As a matter of fact, you're the one narrating this cutscene. So why did you wait this long to help me? You watched me walk in this randomizer for how many years before finally deciding to pull up and telling me to go home? And I don't want to hear that, oh, you was only able to use your power because the other book's open. You a book yourself. You independent, clearly. If the other book's open, how are you in front of me? See, this is what I'm talking about. Just because you got some little bitty voice, coffees, man, I would have took one of them pages and wiped my ass with it. But anyways, we going back home.
This isn't right. Where is everyone?
I don't even want to give any commentary for this level because the voice acting is so marvelous.
What has befallen my people? ails him? He looks to be diseased.
What are you talking about, what ails him? What you mean what ails him, family? You just shot him in the ass with a fireball. The same fireball you destroyed the sparrow with. But anyways, Corvus pulls up to his hood and he is like, what happened to my hood? Why is all my people diseased and all of that, whatever he's talking about. So we walking through our hood. I can't even stand and think to myself before rats are chewing on my big toe and all of that. I shoot one man one time, he drop his weapon and he's running away. What type of disease is that? They supposed to be attacking me, but the second I square up, they getting frail. Anyways, we running through our hood. It's all type of mess. Man, them waiting in the square to attack me. Man, them is spinning on a spit roast for whatever reason. The game got real kinky the first level in. And what else is going on? I don't even remember what else is going on. It's getting crazy, but nah. At the end of the level, look at this. This had me crying.
Go, or suffer the same. You are Corvus? Oh, forgive me. You know of me? A slayer of Desparal. A hero's tale travels far. Who are you?
Bro, what type of MC is this? So, Corvus pulls up on the first of his ilk that's not diseased by his own words. And he's like, who are you? What you mean, who are you, family? He's the whole harbor master. You don't know who he is? I'm already smelling cap. You talking about my people, but you don't know anybody from your own hood? Anyways, Mr. Harbor Master is like, yo, they got the block, everybody's diseased, and those who are not diseased, they in their house locked up. Corvus is listening. Then Mr. Harbor Master Kun is like, yo, you gotta go over there down the block to the next hood and get the heal of them, and then you could save us again. And what does Corvus say? Corvus is like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not destined to be a hero. But didn't you just defeat the Sparrow and save the land in the previous game? What is he talking about? He's not a hero. What type of MC is this? So then Harbor Master is like, bro, please. Also, by the way, the Celestial Watcher, he locked all of us in here. So you gotta mash him up first to escape the city. Then Corvus is like, yeah, okay, I'ma do it. So then why did you say no in the first place? Yo, somebody come collect this knife ear, guy. What is wrong with this elf? He took his shirt off and now all of a sudden he acting different. I thought you cared about your people. Hey, man, that's what Corvus goes off to go do. We gotta make our way through the city. That's what we go do. So for the next 2 levels, there's nothing really to write home about. First, we gotta go through the city. Then we gotta get to the Celestial Watcher's tower. So we making our way through the city. We're getting jumped at every corner. I mean, we got a new enemy type where all his ability is to stink. I don't really get it. He throws like farts at me. He has the ability to manifest farts. And then his body's covered in farts when you kill him. Whatever. You got your people, your ilk that are diseased by Corvus's words, jumping you at every corner. They jumping you in the alley. They're putting tables as makeshift shields and jumping you. You're jumping on the roof. Then we go to a warehouse for whatever reason. Shout out FedEx and this. Ain't nothing really going on, man. It's just whatever. We finally make it to the Celestial Watchtower tower. Say that 4 times really fast. And I actually really like the way the interiors look. You remember when games used to have interiors? Yeah, so anyways, we make it to Celestial Tower Watcher's tower, interior tower. I don't really get it, whatever he's called. The man them who locked up the hood, right? So the place looks nice. We're still getting jumped. Still nothing really to talk about, but this one point right here absolutely killed me.
Constellations, seasons. What is the meaning of all this?
What's the meaning of constellations and seasons? Is Corvus dead ass? Apparently MC is completely uneducated. Apparently Corvus has no idea of the concept that the planet is moving around the sun. After a very simple puzzle, we get to our boss, Celestial Watcher Tower Man, and for whatever reason, he's talking like this, and it's hyper annoying. Celestial Tower Watcherman is basically like, yo, since you defeated the Sparrow, I'm the new ruler now, you dig? And Corvus is like, bro, how could you? You built the city and you led the city. Now the plague is the ruler. You made a prison. And the Celestial Tower Watcherman is like, yeah, I don't care what you're talking about. So the fight breaks out. Very simple fight. Cakewalk even. Because apparently Celestial Tower Watcherman is in a wheelchair. He cannot move his legs. He is an invalid. He stays in place, shooting projectiles, which is very easy to dodge. After a quick fight, he goes boom. Celestial Tower Watcherman going boom causes the whole place to blow up. And of course, Corvus falls through the hole. And apparently, Celestial Tower Watcherman's room was like right above where we needed to go. So we fall down into a completely different hood. And Corvus is like, oh my head. Then Book Lady pulls up and is like, yo, by the way, I got some power back, but not all of it, teehee. Oh, I have something to tell you. You're infected. Corvus starts crashing out immediately. Then Book Lady is like, okay, but if we go to the Healadem, you know, that the Harbor Master was telling you about, then she could do something. And Corvus is like, okay, now you really got a reason to go over to Healadem. Corvus makes his way through the swamp, and you know what a swamp means in video games. It's time to platform. The water is lava. So platforming and not being able to see because Fog World from Silent Hill pulls up apparently. And now we're underneath like a temple or something like that. Regardless, the trek is extremely long. So we get through the swamp, we get through the temple, we get out the temple, and we in the city. There's some lizard men talking about Trespasser, Quake 2 style, and all of that good stuff. But we finally make it to Healadem.
Any cure. Go.
Corvus doesn't even get a single word in before the Healadem is like, I don't got no cure for you, sorry, leave my room. Like, damn, does everybody who pull up on you ask for a cure? But Corvus keeping his temper. He's like, bro, I don't mean no harm. I got the hentai virus and I need help. And this cutscene is so funny, guys. So then Healadem starts chicken mad slow and is like, hey, yo, your skin nasty as hell. You got hentai virus. And then Corvus starts crashing out.
You are Corvus.
I know who I am. Are you the healer? Will you help me?
Corvus is completely justified here. Corvus just got done telling this old fart, bro, I don't have all day. The book's power is not going to last forever. And this Cithra, whatever they called, is like, oh, you the heretic, bro. You Corvus. Corvus is tight. It's like, bro, I know what my name is. Help me. Are you the healer? Damn. So then Healer Man is like, yeah, bro, I'm the healer, but I can't make no cure. Sorry, this is a video game. So you know what that means? You gotta go fetch some stuff from. You gotta go on a fetch quest. Corvus is like, all right, cool. We're gonna go on the fetch quest then. And let me tell you something, bro. This is the worst part of the game. I got stuck. So pay attention to this. So Healadem is like, okay, you need to fetch me everything in the world. And everything in the world is 3 items, and they in 3 completely different places. Oh boy. So here's the lowdown. Cithra Healadem's place is like a hub area, and from that hub area you have to navigate to 3 completely different locations, get the 3 ingredients, then come back. And essentially once you get 1 ingredient, you have to come back, then go to the second location. So it's not linear. It's kind of like a hub area. I mean, that's what I just said. That's what a hub is, right? But for whatever reason, I don't know, it just wasn't intuitive to me. I was super lost. And of course, getting the 3 ingredients themselves, like the 3 locations that you have to go to, they're not short endeavors by any stretch of the imagination. So I completely forgot that you needed 3 items. So after getting 2 out of the 3 items, I thought, okay, I got everything I needed. Let's go back to Healadem. I go back to Healadem, and this is what happens. He's just sitting there looking at me. I get to room, he's just looking at me. Then the game crash. I try again and again and again. It's the same thing. I get to his room and he's just looking at me and I can't do nothing. The second I press a button, the game crash. So I had to Google this, and it was on reddit.com. You know, reddit.com, the place where everybody got a fedora and they ask every single question under the face of the planet. So apparently this is a very common mistake, because I knew this wasn't good level design. So they're like, bro, how do you get past this? And they're like, yeah, bro, listen, you gotta get all 3 ingredients, because if you don't get all 3 ingredients, the game gonna crash. Bro, how? He can't just say, oh, you only have X amount instead of all 3. I need this. No, the game just crashes. So after finally figuring that out, I go to the final location to where the last ingredient is. There's a whole boss fight waiting for me, but we do it and we get the final ingredient. Finally. Damn, take a drink how many times I said finally in this segment. Make our way back to Healer Dem's room properly this time without any crash. And what's waiting for me? There are ops in his room. So a fight breaks out and I defeat the ops in his room. Then the cutscene plays properly as it should have. But now look at this. There are 2 Healer Dems. The real Healer Dem that's laying on the floor, and then the fake Healer Dem that's just staring at you that causes the crash. I couldn't believe my eyes. This game is so funny. But anyways, Healer Dem is talking about, oh, the minions of McCollivan pulled up. Who? The minions of who? Who is McCollivan? Did I miss something in the story? You can't just be saying random names to me like that. Who is that? Minion Dem continue, not Minion Dem, Healer Dem continues, and he's like, yo, you gotta go to my lab now. I prepared the cure for you. All you gotta do is make it. What do you mean you prepared the cure? Didn't you just say you can't make the cure because you needed 3 ingredients? So what did you prepare? You didn't have the ingredients. You made me go fetch it. What exactly did you prepare? Anyways, he says go to his lab. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to go to your lab. So I'm thinking his lab is in his room. I go in the elevator in the little attic room in his room. There's like a 2nd floor in his room. That's not his lab. Where is his lab? He said go to his lab. Where is his lab, bro? I'm lost. I start backtracking. I don't know where to go. That's when I realized the game has a map. Now, to be fair, the map isn't really good because it don't show you your location. It don't show you where you're at, what direction you're facing, where you just came from. It's just squares on brown paper. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, I guess it helps, but it's not helping me, bro. I'm sorry, I'm lost. So remember when I said his lab wasn't in his room? Well, guess what? I was wrong. I was right, but I was wrong. So his lab is in his room, but I just didn't go to the right thing. I went to the cauldron. I went to the book on the table. I went to the scrolls on the floor. But nah, it's none of that. You have to specifically put your face in these 2 furnace things, and that's when the interaction button will pop up. So we make the cure after wasting about 1.5 hours of additional gameplay being lost. So both Corvus and Healer Dem take it, right? And Healer Dem is like, ooh boy, that hit the spot, I'm good. But then Corvus is like, wait, hold on, how come it cure you and it didn't cure me? I'm still sick. And Healer Dem is like, I'm sorry bro, but my race just built better than yours. It worked on me, it ain't work on you. But listen, don't crash out just yet. But he's like, and then Corvus is crashing out regardless. Corvus is like, yo, wait, hold on. Bro, so you could fix it so it could work on my race? And Healer Dem is like, nah, I can't. It's gonna take too long. But if you go to the next block and go ask the high priestess of the Kinnikucut, she could help because she know magic. And Corvus is like, wait, hold on, that's gonna take even longer. That's a longer trek than waiting for you to do whatever. And Healer Dem's like, nah, chill, bro, it's okay. Don't you remember this is a video game? I have a convenient portal that will teleport you over there. Now, it's not going to teleport you the entire way, but it's going to teleport you closer. So you can still have to trek over there. And Corvus is like, alright, cool, bro, I'ma go. Thanks, family. And, well, we're off to our next arc. We gotta go over to the high priestess of the Kinnikucut, whatever that is, and see how her magic is going to help me cure hentai virus. The game gets extremely Tomb Raider now, so we're in some caves that honestly just look like a tomb, and we gotta fight dinosaurs and roaches. The dinosaurs are chewing on the lizard men from the Healer Dem block and all type of mess. So we in the caves, you gotta move through the caves, we swimming in water, pulling all type of lever, cool. Then we get out the cave, we're in some type of canyon type of place. So we really high up, and now we gotta fight birds and shit, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's fine. I think this is the best part of the game, honestly, traversing through the different blocks or countries, or whatever villages of the different races and stuff. But so we pull up, right, And then we see a body laying there, a bloody mash up body. So Healer them has sent a scout to go to the Kinnikucut hideout, but he said that the scout never returned. So this gotta be the scout right here. So the scout and Corvus is having a conversation, and Corvus is like, bro, is a Kinnikucut infected? And the scout is like, they seem immune, but they still beat my ass anyway. The second I approach, I think the queen, she's scared of other people. So she said, kill all of them. She said, genocide out. And then Corvus immediately starts doom posting. He's like, bro, my journey was for nothing. But then the scout is like, bro, chill. She still might listen to you. Listen, here's your next video game objective. If you get the amulet, you could get into the gauntlet, and the gauntlet is the only way inside her house. I'm like, oh, well, whatever, you know, video game things. So he tells me my objective, right? And then he dies. And it's so funny the way he dies too, because the second he finished speaking, it's like, new objective get. I'm like, damn, bro, well, I'm sorry you just had to lay here up in the mountains. Corvus didn't even have nothing to say. He just walked away from his corpse. He didn't even say rest in peace or nothing. He just walked straight away. So we pull up to the Kinnikucut hideout, tomb, warrior's tomb, whatever it is. I don't know, bro. But here we are. This is easily the worst part of the game for me. So basically, the Kinnikucut is like a mix of like ant and roach and like any type of insect type of thing, but humanoid, right? And because of that, they live in hills and tunnels. You already know where this is going. So you have to navigate this rat maze of an ant tunnel underground, and it's claustrophobic. The camera's up Corvus's ass and all of that. But that's not even the worst part yet. So we once again have to find 3 things. Now you see, the scout only told us that we needed the amulet, but no, we needed more than that. So basically, we have to complete this statue. And to complete the statue, you need the warrior's gem, the warrior's amulet, and the warrior's spear, I think it is, right? So you need 3 things. And then you have to navigate this tight ass place, skinny corridors, fighting all of these Kinnikucut left and right. The fighting part is the easy part. Honestly, it's the navigation. Everything looks the same to me. I can't tell left from right. I can't tell this northbound tunnel from this southbound tunnel. They all look the same. It's just all melded in this weird orangey, reddish, earthy color. And it's like, bro, I hate y'all. Y'all sound like roaches. Y'all make a sound when y'all move. And I'm lost. Also, I died. Look at this fire cooking Corvus alive, bro. Oh my gosh. But we eventually found 2 out of the 3. Just like last time. And now here we go. Where's the amulet at? Or so I thought. So the main statue where Corvus is like, something is missing. That requires the amulet, the warrior's amulet. But how do you get the warrior's amulet? So this is what you do. First, you take the warrior's gem to a completely different statue and put it there. And then that will cause that statue to descend. And there will be a coffin. Now inside the coffin, you give the dried up corpse the warrior's spear. And then a secret door will open and there's the warrior's amulet. Fantastic. The game doesn't tell you this, by the way. So after getting the warrior's amulet, I accidentally killed myself. That's cool. So what is supposed to happen is we go back to where the main statue is, put the warrior's amulet on, right? And now here we go. About 20 Kinnikucut deep pull up and they start talking a bunch of mess in their language. They start speaking roach. And of course Corvus don't understand that. Then one just randomly pulls up and slaps the stuffing out of him. And then Corvus is like, yo, book, translate. Why didn't he tell him? So anyways, the book start translating and the book is like, yeah, so they said that they're gonna eat your ass. Like literally, you trespass, so they're gonna eat your entire butt. And then Corvus is like, bro, tell him I got the amulet. Even though the statue is within frame, everybody could see the statue has the amulet on it. So the book speaks Roach and tells them that Corvus got the amulet, and they like, okay, we not gonna eat your butt no more. Instead, you now earn the right to potentially see the High Priestess. And Corvus is like, I bet.
Challenge accepted.
So the gauntlet is on some American Gladiator, Ninja Warrior, obstacle course type of BS. First, we have this platforming puzzle that's not really a platforming puzzle, just the floor is quicksand, literally. Then there's lava all of a sudden, and Mortal Kombat 2. I immediately fall into lava right after falling into the Mortal Kombat 2 pit, but the gauntlet is more or less the same thing, just an obnoxious obstacle course where I'm not even going to hold you. I don't see how any of the Kachekrik, whatever they're called, is passing any of this, seeing how big they are and how narrow these corridors are, but whatever. After the gauntlet, we have to fight a Rancor now. And I'm like, hold on, does George Lucas know what we're doing over here? Because this looking like a bit of copyright. Hey, I ain't no damn snitch, so we gotta fight a Rancor now. After the Rancor is killed, you would think it's time to go to the High Priestess's room, right? Well, you'd be right, but unfortunately there's still one extra step. So we have to walk there manually, but we also need to get the key to her room. Because for whatever reason, they need a key. It is open from the outside. She's like locked in her own house. Anyways, so after walking through extra corridors and hallways, after climbing a bunch of vines, after fighting hordes of enemies, after getting lost, we find a roach idol, because I'm not trying to pronounce their race no more, and we get to the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a blue stick with boobs, and she got no clothes on. You can instantly tell what decade this game came out of just by looking at her. So the second she opens her mouth, she immediately gets on her flirty, dirty, Edelgate RAT not safe for work pack. Corvus is just confused. High Priestess is like, yo, if you want to rid yourself of the hentai virus, just let me absorb you on some Chimera Ant Arc Hunter Hunter style. Corvus is of course like, how about no? So a fight breaks out, you beat her silly, and then the High Priestess is like, ooh, thank goodness, you beat the madness out of me. Corvus is like, the madness? And she's like, yeah, the madness. You see, Morcarvian, McCollivan, I'm gonna start calling him Michael. You see, he got the power to use a specific strain of the hentai virus to brainwash everybody. So even though my race is literally immune to it, he could just brainwash me instead. Corvus is like, okay. The High Priestess then says, listen, you see Michael, he's hiding out at a place called World's End Mountain. Because there's a place called World's End Mountain. Also, I have a convenient portal that will place you right under the mountain. There's a mines under the mountain, and that's where I'm gonna send you. Sound familiar yet? That's the entire plot of this game. Corvus is like, alright bro, let's get it, let's go. So the mines level isn't really anything to write home about, but there is one explicitly funny thing. And that is the fact that once you get in there, you see that these like mole people are being enslaved or oppressed by some like heavies. And it is the funniest thing ever. Because the second you start beating up their oppressors, they'll do one of two things. Well, one of three things. They'll start cheering you on and celebrating. They'll join in on the fight. Or both. And it's the funniest thing ever because they sound like Jinjos, like the type of yippee. They're making sounds like they should be in some type of rated E game, not a rated M boomer shooter, corridor shooter. The second you ascend out of the mines, Corvus's hentai virus starts flaring up and he starts groaning, my back. So then the book is like, yeah bro, the hentai virus is eating away at your heart real quick, but keep moving forward. Like I didn't already know that. So now that we're in Michael's dungeon, And it's kind of the same as the mines, just now there's like lava and stuff, and now there's torture devices everywhere. So the same like mole people we saw in the mines, they're just torturing them in here. I'm talking about nailing them by their palms and hanging them from the ceiling, like just mashing them up and all type of hoo-ha. And as I said, there's a lot of lava, so much so I did some silly stuff and I fell in it again. So after doing this entire level again a second time because I forgot to save like the idiot that I am, we come across another mashed up lizard man. Just this time, instead of sitting on a canyon, he's on a torture device that pulls you apart like a chicken wing. So Corvus unties him, right? And then the lizard man is like, hey yo bro, here's a key, dies. And I'm like, well, hold on. If they had you completely locked up, I mean, they had you binded by your wrists and your ankles, how did they not search your body to see that you had a key to get into the inner sanctum? But whatever, we once again only see the lizard men getting mashed up. Like, why is it only this race getting mashed up? But hey, we got a key, time to move on. So we ascend higher and higher and higher till we eventually get to Michael's crib, right? And then when we get to his crib, we see him in his room. But there's like a portal barrier, not a portal barrier, but just like a barrier, see-through barrier, right? And the book is like, hey, yo, look, that's Michael. And there's my other sister books. And wait, hold on. That's a book I never seen before. Now, let me explain something real quick because I kind of skipped over earlier. So, remember the high priestess of the roach people? Yeah, well, apparently she's like, yo, listen, Michael is a seraph. And Corvus, once again, as you guessed it, started to crash out. He's always crashing out. So apparently the Seraph are the ancestors of Corvus's people, aka the Elves. But the Seraphs are like celestial beings. They like not demigods, but like right underneath gods. So apparently Michael tried to cast a spell called the Spell of Ascension, where he tried to elevate all the Seraphs into immortality. But of course, that did not work. So he became immortal and everybody else was infected with the plague. Infected with the plague. Jesus, English, man. This video is long. So there we go. Back to the present. So the book is like, that is why the spell failed. You need the original books to cast a spell. And I'm like, okay, whatever, bitch. High fantasy things. Let's just find a way to get into Michael's room. How are we getting into Michael's room, you might ask? Michael had the terrific idea of having random buttons littered throughout his house. A button in his bedroom, a button in his bathroom, a button in his fapping room, a button in his kitchen. You press a button and a book closes. So that's the entire last level, essentially, is you running back and forth finding about 6 or 7 buttons to press. You press a button and a book closes. Star Wars level of silly, but straightforward. So there was one funny moment though throughout my journey doing this. He has a button that's like located in a furnace, and I tried to finagle my way in there, but no dice. I rolled in there, caught fire, pressed a button, and while the book was closing, you can hear Corvus dying. Once completing this last time-consuming task, the book pulls up and is like, now place me over the false book and we can cancel the spell. Okay, simple enough. So I make my way back over to Michael's room, right? And guess what? The barrier is still there. Now here's my last taste of bad level design. Here's my last taste of getting stuck before the game's credits. I backtrack all throughout Michael's crib. I even backtrack further down into Michael's dungeon. I have no idea what to do, how to open Michael's room. I thought by pressing the buttons, he would open it. But no, this is what we have to do. So there's an extra room like to the left of Michael's room, right? And within it is 3 power-ups. You have to pick up the 3 power-ups to cause a cutscene which reveals a hidden lever, and then pulling the hidden lever will reveal a hidden button, and then pressing the hidden button will deactivate Michael's room. I never in my life have played a video game where you have to pick up the pickups before a boss. Usually they'll give you all the extra health and ammo or whatever, and it's optional. Not in this game. They said you will take this extra shield. You will take this extra health. You will take this mana before this boss. I mean, I wish someone would have told me. It would have been nice if the book was like, hey, yo, you should pick up that extra health before we go in there or something. But hey, here we are. Upon entering Michael's room, we can finally start the final boss. A cutscene starts. Michael is like, congratulations on getting all the way here, family. But guess what? I am a seraph. I am one of your forefathers. How about that? You feeling sad yet? And Corvus is like, bro, I got over it already. Then Michael is like, so you defeated the Sparrow. You plan to do the same to me? You plan to run my fate? Corvus is like, if that's what it comes to. So then the fight starts, right? And once again, just like every other boss fight in this game, this boss fight is a cakewalk. The only difference is Michael can do a couple of things. He can teleport and he has multiple health. So essentially what you have to do is you have to deplete Michael's health to 0. Then when his health goes to 0, the barrier around the false book or just all the books in general will disappear. Then you have to do the race and deactivate the final book and put the book that's been following you all day in its place, right? Easier said than done because the window was kind of short. The first time I did this, I was a little bit confused. Michael asked me. Second go around and Michael is telling me a weird biology lesson for some reason. He's like, yo, if you take a lizard man and he get ate by a roach, the roach digestive system will digest him in a day. And the lizard man would stay alive that entire time. I never studied the insides of your race before. Why is Michael a pervert? This is the strangest thing ever. I'm so uncomfortable right now. Out of all the things to say during a final boss fight, you talking about how race A digests race B? Man, somebody come get Michael out here. He's whining. Come get your mans. My confusion aside, we're able to do the boss fight just fine by replacing the fake book with the real book. A FMV cutscene starts to play, and this is the ugliest FMV cutscene in the entire game. It is grainy, hyper grainy, ultra grainy. It looks like SNES Mode 7, or even GBA Pseudo Mode 7 if you remember that. Michael pulls up behind Corvus immediately afterwards, and he's like, reality is often harsher than your fantasies. And Corvus is like, well, you don't know nothing about reality. All you know how to do is mash reality up. And Michael is like, I don't care about nothing you talking about. You lose, I win. And Corvus starts screaming, there's electricity everywhere. But in a double Uno reverse card strategy, the real book was right. And Michael turned good again. How we know that he's good again? Because now all of a sudden his robes are white. Because white equals pure and good or whatever. So Michael is like, okay bro, thanks for saving me. I'm just gonna float off into the distance. All the people that I killed, you can't bring them back? But I'ma leave you down here to clean up the mess. And Corvus is like, yeah bro, I'ma clean up that mess. Credits. And that's Heretic 2. And since these credits are long as hell, I might as well talk about it a little bit. Fantastic game. Fantastic 90s BS. I thoroughly enjoyed my time. I would especially like it if this game got the, what do they call it again? Night Dive Studios. The Night Dive Studios remastered treatment and made available to buy again on digital storefronts. That would be absolutely amazing with working multiplayer nonetheless. I would really like that. The Emperor would like that. Solid enough third-person shooter with light platforming elements and even lighter puzzle-solving elements. I mean, I don't know if you could classify the sequences as puzzles in this game because all they required you to do was either press a button or flip a lever. That being said, there was a couple of cool weapons and abilities in this game, such as the spell that allows you to turn enemies into chickens. That's pretty raw. And then the storm arrow, that's the single greatest gun. I mean, they're essentially guns anyway. That's the single greatest weapon in the entire game. That concludes the first edition of Kinnikucut. I thank each and every one of y'all for listening and watching this video. If you made it this far, you're even more raw. Hopefully, the Emperor made you laugh or gave you a giggle here and there throughout. There'll be plenty more Kinnikucuts where that came from. But until then, stay safe everybody.